Good evening, and I welcome you, students. Very important topic is going on. You have seen, students, the ship floats on the sea, but an iron needle sinks inside the sea. Is it correct?
Yes.
Now, the question which we have been asking is that why the boats, the ships, they are floating, they are so huge, so big on the water, but a small needle, what we find, a small stone, it sinks. Naturally, there is a curiosity. You have seen earlier, have you ever done swimming?
Yes, sir.
So when you are in a pool, do you feel some lightness in your weight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is happening, students? When you are in a pool, you find your weight, mass cannot be changed. Your mass is the same. But what is happening? You appear lighter. That is what I say apparent weight. The apparent weight is less than the real weight. Why? What is the reason for all this? We have discussed last time that the fluids exert pressure, and we have shown you that there is a upward thrust which is experienced by the objects when we try to put them in a liquid like water or any other liquid. What is that upward thrust known as, students?
Buoyancy.
Buoyancy. All right, we already have this on the screen, student. What we told you that there is a upward thrust which is experienced whenever an object is immersed inside the water. So what we said, student, if you have water, student, if you submerge any object, what is happening, student? The weight of the object is acting downward. That is the weight of the object, but the object experience an upward thrust, which is equal to, what is that upward thrust, student? Which we call as
Buoyancy.
buoyancy. What is the reason for this upward thrust? Why should there be upward thrust, student? Because the pressure keeps on increasing as you go down the liquid. So if I take 2 points, one here and one here, we know there is a difference in pressure between these 2 points. There is a difference in pressure between these 2 points. If m is the mass of the body and g is acceleration due to gravity, the body is experiencing an upward thrust. Upward force is there which pushes this object upward, and that is what we talked of buoyancy. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
So the question here, the first question as a recap of all that, what do you mean by buoyancy? What is your answer for this, student? What answer you will give in the exam when we say what do you mean by buoyancy, student?
Sir, buoyancy is the upward thrust exerted by the fluids on the objects that are completely immersed in them.
That are submerged inside the liquids. Even they can be partially immersed, not, I mean, otherwise they will sink also. So, what is the reason of the buoyancy? What was the reason for upward thrust? What is the reason that there is
Sir,
a buoyancy?
because of the pressure of fluid.
Because there is a difference in pressure of liquids or fluids with depth, or what we call as the height h. So as you go deeper, as h increases, what happens? The pressure increases.
Yes, sir.
The pressure increases. So the result is that the pressure of the top of the object and the pressure at the bottom is not the same. The pressure at the bottom is more than the pressure at the top. So this will always be, there will always be what we call as upward thrust. The thrust is always upward. So the buoyancy is acting on all the objects when we put them in water. That is why when you swim, you appear lighter. You will appear lighter. And you have seen, if you put a bucket in a well of water, what happens to it? It weights appear lighter, but when it comes outside, it appears heavier. So interesting that iron needle sinks in water and a big ship floats on water. These are some of the things which we are already experienced, student. So we have tried to answer these questions by using buoyancy. Very important concept. Okay. So question number 3 in your NCERT book, it says, why does an object float or sink when placed on the surface of the water? How will you explain this, students? What answer you are giving? Why should anything sink or anything float? What we said? What is your answer, student? You have 1 to 2 minutes to think about this.
Sir, because of the difference in their densities.
You are saying the nail sinks. The nail sinks because there is a force. There is a force which is equal to the weight of the nail. Okay? This, there is a force which is equal to m into g. So this is due to the gravitational force. The gravitational force is acting downward, student. It is acting downwards. That we already told you. And number 1. And number 2, you are saying there is an upward thrust. Upward thrust. ठीक है? Or buoyancy. ठीक है? There is an upward thrust or buoyancy which pushes the object or the nail upward, which pushes the upward, student, or up thrust, what we call as upward thrust or up thrust. So this force, if I say this force is F, downward force Fd is equal to m into g, and if I say that is an upward thrust acting on the upward thrust, upward force, this is acting upward. If this upward force, or let me say buoyant force B, buoyant force is greater than this downward force or the force of gravity, then what will happen? The object will float. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Because upward thrust is more than the downward force, the object floats. So when this is greater than the first one, the object floats. But if weight of the object, or what I say, gravitational weight of the object, let me say gravitational weight of the object, gravitational weight of object, which you are saying is m is the mass of the object and g is the acceleration due to gravity. If this is greater than up thrust, ठीक है, then what will happen? This is greater than the upthrust or buoyancy. Buoyancy. Then what will happen? Wg is greater than Fb. Then object will
Sink.
sink. We will talk of density very soon after this, but here we have not told you anything about density right now, so we are using this concept. What we are talking is the buoyancy or upward thrust. Upward thrust. All right. Note down everything. Now we are coming to another important principle, student. You have heard the name of the great scientist Archimedes.
Yes, sir.
Archimedes was a Greek scientist, great scientist. He discovered the principle subsequently named after him after noticing that water in a bathtub overflowed when he stepped into it. Interesting. Do you have a trough of water? Water trough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is your water trough, student. You fill it with water. And now what happens? You take a bath and you sit inside this. All right. I am not that good in drawing, student. You sit in this. What will happen if this was filled with water? The water will spill out.
Yes, sir.
Water, what he found? That water in the bathtub overflowed. Overflowed, student. Overflowed when he was sitting inside the bathtub. And that was important because scientists have very strong mind. They observe something and then they try to find something why it has happened. What has happened to the water, where the water has gone. That means he puts his body inside the water tub and the water comes out. So here, being a great scientist, scientific mind, what I say scientific mind, student, we all do and aware of all these things. Everyone experiences it, but a scientist will try to find the reason for this curiosity. What is the reason? Can he form a law out of this? As I said, you are experiencing boats are floating on the water and you throw a stone or a pebble, it sinks in the water. We all know it. But how many are thinking that what is the reason for this? How many have a scientific mind? That we want to observe and we want to find reason. That is what science is all about. So he ran through the street shouting Eureka, which means I have got it. Now he has got it, why it is happening, and what is the quantity of water which will be displaced when the body goes inside the water. How much water will come out? Why you are facing a loss in weight? I mean, actually there is no loss in weight. Why you feel that your weight has become less when you are inside the water? And you can use a spring balance and you take an object, you will naturally find that the apparent weight becomes less. Why? And how much water will be displaced? The knowledge helped him to determine purity of gold in the crown made for the king. He used this to determine the purity of gold in the crown made for. These are some of the applications which scientists use. His work in the field of geometry and mechanics made him famous. His understanding of lever, pulleys, wheel and axle helped Greek army in its war with the Roman army. The scientific inventions, technological developments are helping the army a lot. You are nowadays aware of the drones being used by the army. And as of future warfare says, it will be high-tech war. The people may not move, but they will have to use missiles, launch pads and all that. And they can hit targets miles away from where they are situated. So the scientific mind of Archimedes was there from what he experimented or what he observed. Now let us see what is Archimedes' principle and how it helps in explaining to us why will a ship float and why an iron needle sinks. This can be explained by Archimedes' principle. Why your weight becomes appear less when you are inside the swimming pool. Why a bucket, when it's inside a well, appears lighter. As soon as you bring out, it appears heavier. All this can be explained by the Archimedes principle. So we will explain all these, students. Why some objects float and other sink. This can be explained. Why do we experience apparent weights or loss in weight when objects are immersed inside the liquids? Okay, let us go further. Interesting story. Interesting story, student. Let us see what is happening. Okay, students. Now I am coming straight away to the Archimedes principle. But I am coming Archimedes principle. You have seen the story of that great scientist. From that, he performed experiments to students. From this observation, he will go to the physics lab, science lab, and perform many experiments. And then he will be able to write some law. After collecting the data, it is not that you have seen it that it is happening, but the exact law or relationships are only given after you do activities, you do experiments. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What we are saying, when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force. It experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. This is the statement of Archimedes principle. What it means, student? I am saying this. Here you have water, student. Now, if I consider that this body is fully, now you can see this body is fully immersed in the liquid. This body is fully immersed in the liquid, right?
Yes, sir.
What will happen, student? If I take a block, any body, it has some volume. This body is posing, I am saying this body. This will have some volume, student. Yes,
Yes, sir.
volume. It has a volume. This body has a volume, student. And supposing if you are saying it is a cuboid, then the volume will be equal to length into breadth into height, student. It will, if this amount of water will have to be displaced by it, yes or no? Whatever is the volume of this body, whatever is the volume of this body, it will also displace the same volume of the liquid, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Same volume of the liquid. If V is the volume of this cuboid, it will also displace a liquid of the same volume. In a shelf, you have books. The shelf is filled. You want to put another book, then how will you do it? You have to remove a book and then you can put it. Or if you put your book, then it will displace an equal amount of space from that. Equal volume will be displaced. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that then what we are saying, if this body is there, student, if it is immersed, ठीक है? It is fully immersed now, fully immersed. We'll take the case of partial immersion also. So it will have to displace a liquid of the volume equal to it. And what will happen then? Then the weight of the liquid will appear to be the same or lighter. This is displacing a liquid. Why it displaces? Because there is an upward thrust. Now, whether it will sink or float, we will have to see. We will just tell you what is happening. But it is clear. How do you say that? I will say, okay, what I will do. Supposing, students, I have a container like this, student. This part is open. This part is open, as you can see. Okay? When I fill a liquid in this, how much liquid I can fill in it? This much maximum, because this is open. After that, the liquid will spill out.
Yes, sir.
Now I put this block. I put this block here, student. This what will happen? Some liquid will come out. I can collect it in another container. Now the liquid which comes out, student, the volume of this liquid will be equal to how much? Volume of the object. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So volume is equal to the volume of the object. Now, what is the relationship between density and volume? Mass of the liquid will be how much? Density into volume. So if volume is same, student, the densities are not the same. The density of this solid is not the same as the density of this. So from here, we can also calculate the mass of the liquid displaced. And these experiments are being done by Archimedes. And what he found, the weight of the liquid displaced. We can find the weight of the liquid displaced. Okay? That was equal to the how much? Equal to the upward force or the buoyant force which was acting on this object. Buoyant or upward force which is acting on this. Let us do an activity, student, to understand what we are doing. Activity. You can see here is a string, a stone is tied to it. Take a piece of stone and tie it to one end of a rubber string or a spring balance. I can take a spring balance. You know what is a spring balance, student? You have seen a spring balance. If I will
Yes,
tie
sir.
the stone with a spring balance, it will give me a reading of the weight of the stone. Okay? How much mass is there? Or if you say force, then force is m into g. If I take g, if it is 5 kg into 10, how much force is there? 50 Newton force. So suspend the stone by holding the balance of the string. First I am suspending it in air. Okay? Observe the elongation of the rubber string due to weight of the piece of the stone suspended in air. This is in air. Now you take the same stone, take the same stone and immerse it in liquid. This is my water. Okay? Suspend the stone by holding the balance or string as shown. What will happen? What you will find? Note the elongation of the string or the reading on the spring balance due to the weight of the stone. What will you see? Now the slowly dip the stone in water in a container as shown. What will you observe? Will the reading will be same or the reading will change, students? This was longer. The elongation has decreased. What will happen? The reading of the reading that will come in the spring balance will become less. The weight of the stone will appear less in the spring balance now. There is a loss in weight, we are saying. Okay? The body will experience a loss in weight when it will be immersed in the liquid. Why? Because of an upward thrust which is acting on this. Experiment this you can do in the lab. Let us do an experiment, student, what we are saying. To establish the relationship between loss in weight of the solid when fully immersed in a liquid. A spring balance, a clamp, two different solids such as metallic brass block, rectangular block, overflow, tap water, and all this. According to Archimedes, when body is immersed in a liquid completely or partially, it loses its weight. The loss in weight is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by it. So we'll do an experiment to verify this. The statement is clear now.
Yes, sir.
The body is immersed inside the water. It will displace water. The loss in weight is equal to what? But the loss in weight is equal to weight of the loss in weight is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body. And that is also the equal to the upward thrust which is applied to the body. So we are saying loss in weight is the weight of the body in air minus the weight of the body immersed in water. This is the loss in weight, student. If W is the weight of the body in air and W1 is the weight of the body immersed in water, this is less by a quantity. which is equal to weight of the liquid displaced. This is also equal to up thrust in water on the body. Clear? W.
Yes, sir.
What is my W? This is my loss in weight. W is the weight of the body in air. Weight of body in air, students. And W1 is the weight of body immersed in water. So this difference is equal to what? Upthrust in water on the body, or weight of the liquid displaced by the body. So we will verify this, students. Let us verify. All right, student. Here you can see what we have done, student. Now this is a spring balance. Do you see a spring balance?
Yes, sir.
Here is a ball, student. Metallic ball, first solid. Okay? Tied with a thread. Weight of the body in air W1. How much it is showing? This is 200. So this is showing 250. Okay? Is in grams, supposing 250 gram. 100, 250, 300. Okay? This is the W1 is the weight of the body in air. Now I will put the solid in liquid. Okay? Solid in liquid. Can you see that? Container.
Yes.
And you see the container is like this, student, that as soon as I will put this ball, it will displace water, because this was filled up to this level only. You cannot fill more than this because this side is open. So as soon as I put this ball, student, what has happened? It has displaced liquid. That is the weight of the tap water displaced, which is W dash here. Okay? By the body.
Yes, sir.
And weight of the body tap in water is W2. Has it changed? How much it was here? What is the reading? 250 gram. What is the reading here?
150 gram.
So what has happened to the weight? There is a loss in weight, student. Loss in weight when the body is immersed in the water. Why there is a loss in weight? You already know. Up thrust, buoyancy, upward thrust is acting on the body. The mass is acting downward and the buoyancy is acting upward, because if we do take any 2 points above and below, then you know there is a pressure difference. There is a pressure difference if I take this and this, student, depending on the height of this column. You know that there is a pressure difference. This pressure is more than this pressure,
Yes.
because the depth is more. So it is pushing the ball upward. It is pushing the ball upward. So we say the apparent loss in weight of the solid immersed in tap water is equal to student. Now what we can do, student, you can weight this water. You have got the water, you weight the water. And what you will find? How much will be the weight of the water experimentally? What is the loss in weight here? What is the loss in weight, student, which I am getting? Loss in weight, student, W1 minus W2. How much it is coming? 250 minus 150? 100 gram?
100 gram.
100 gram. Now you take the W dash, which is the weight of water displaced. This will also come equal to how
100
much?
gram.
100 gram. So the weight has come equal to this. The apparent loss in weight solid immersed in tap water is equal to the weight of liquid displaced. This proves what it proves, student? Archimedes principle. This proves the Archimedes principle. So what we have said that the bodies will be immersed inside the water. They will experience an upthrust, student. And due to that upthrust, what will happen? There will be loss in weight. And that loss in weight will be equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body, which is also equal to the upthrust, upward force, which is acting on the body. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So spring balances are used. This experiment we can do in the science lab easily. We can do it. Now students, something is very important. What I am trying to say, what we have just seen students, what we have seen, that here what we saw students, this side was open. I have filled the water to this extent. ठीक है? And I'm saying that I have an object whose mass is m. ठीक है? Mass of the object is m. If I take SI unit supposing m kg, you are putting this object inside this. ठीक है? It could be a ball or anything, no problem. Any object. It is submerged in water. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Then what is the downward force or the weight W which is acting downward, student? Gravitational force which is acting downward is m into g. Newtons. ठीक है? G is 10. If this is 5 kg into 10, 50 newtons. Now what will happen? As soon as I put this, you are saying it will displace water. ठीक है? It will displace water. And if I take the mass of this, if supposing the mass of the liquid displaced is m dash. ठीक है? Mass of liquid displaced is how much, student? M
M
dash.
dash.
Then what will be the weight of the liquid in terms of the force, student? How much force is there then? W is equal to m into g. Then I'm saying W dash is the weight of liquid displaced. Weight of liquid displaced. How much is that? M dash into g. ठीक है?
Yes.
So you have W and W dash. W and W dash. So what is the then apparent weight? What will be the apparent weight, student? Apparent weight. I'm saying this is W, this is W dash. The apparent weight WA. How much it will be? The apparent weight will be equal to loss in weight, which will be how much then? W minus W dash. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
The body has become less. How much less in weight? Equal to the weight of this, which is m into g minus m dash g. Now the question is, important point is coming. Mass and density are related by a formula. What is the formula? Density is known as equal to mass per unit volume, student. And mass is equal to density into volume. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
So m is the mass, rho is the density, v is the volume. Now in both the cases, you know one thing, that the volume of liquid displaced is equal to volume of the body. So volume of liquid displaced is equal to volume of the body. How much volume will be there? Whatever volume is there, the same volume of water will come out. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So volume is same, but densities are different. If ρ1 is the density of the object, student, then what will be m into g? If rho is the density of the object, then mg will be equal to how much? M will be equal to ρ1 v into g. ठीक है, mass is equal to ρ1 v into g, and this is all we are saying, that this is the weight of the object, So m, and what will be m dash g then, students? If ρ2 is the density of the liquid, if ρ2 is the density of the liquid, student, important conclusion, then what will be this? ρ2 v into g. Am I right? Let me make it very clear so that there's no problem, because this we are going to come with a very important formula. ρ2 v into g. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I put this in this formula, student, formula 1, if I put this, student, in this formula, if I put this in this formula, student, what will I get? Something very important result. What result I am getting now? This is, I am saying, the apparent weight. This is my apparent weight, student, will be equal to how much? M into G is how much? ρ1 Vg minus ρ2 Vg. These are constant, same. ρ1 minus ρ2 is the apparent. So apparent weight is coming in terms of densities of the two substances. This is the density of the object, and this is the density of the liquid. What is ρ1? Density of object. What is ρ2? Density of the liquid. This is also equal to the loss in weight is also equal to what? Upward thrust.
Yes,
This is
sir.
also equal to upward thrust, student. Upward thrust, due to which the liquid is being pushed up. Upward thrust. Up thrust. Now, student, interesting thing is this. If W1 is greater than W2, if the density of the object is greater than density of this liquid, what will happen? The WA will be positive. Yes or no?
Yes.
The apparent weight will be more,
Yes, sir.
right? Apparent weight is more. WA is positive. What it means? If this becomes more, then object will sink. Object will sink if the density of the object is more than the density of the liquid. If density of the object is less than the density of the liquid, what will happen? Now WA will be positive or negative? Negative.
Negative.
That means, student, upper weight is negative now. Upper weight is negative means what? Loss in weight is negative means what, student? The object will float. So object floats, student. What will be the result of object floats? What we are trying to say, student? That if you are having something like this, you are having some situation like this, student. So what is happening? It is partially submerged. Okay? It is partially submerged and partially outside. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So you can take how much water will come out. So this is important relationship, because it can explain, as you said, that if density of object is more, it will sink. If density of the object is less, it will float. So if you want the objects to float, what you should do? Their density should be less than density of the water. If the density of the objects is less than the density of the water, what will happen to them? They will float. If the density of the object more than that of water, what will happen? It will sink. So why should a ship then, why the ship doesn't sink then? The ship is made in such a way, you have seen its volume is very, very large. There is a lot of volume, spread volume. You have seen the volume of the ship,
Yes, sir.
how big they are. So what will happen? The ship will displace an equal amount of water of the body which is submerged in the water. And it displaces more water than its weight. What will happen? Then it will start floating. So that is the idea what we are talking about, Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle is more clear from this mathematical formula also, which I said. So it is very clear, student, that this is a very, very important principle, and it explains. Archimedes principle has many applications. Such a question can be asked in the paper. It is used in designing ships and submarines. You will make ships in such a way how that their volume will become very large, and then density is mass per unit volume. Volume is large, student, the density will become less, and then they will be able to float. They will be able to float on the water. So these were something what we are talking of, the mathematical formulas which we have indicated. Here is an experiment which can be done in order to verify the Archimedes principle. Now, what we do all this, why we did all this? Because let us see the statement now of the Archimedes, how he gave this statement. Read it very carefully. When a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences upward force that is equal to weight of the fluid displaced. Did we prove it?
Yes, sir.
And the densities have come as we have shown you in the formula, because whatever we put, that same volume will come out. If it is inside the water, volume will be same, and densities we know, then we can calculate the weights from the densities. So the magnitude of the force, buoyant force, which is acting on the fluid is important. And the question is it the same for all the fluids in a body? Do you think the buoyant force will be same, student, in all fluids? What do you think?
No, sir.
What it will depend? What will it depend, student? What do you think? What it will depend?
It will depend on density.
Yes, that is the important. That's why I derived a formula on that, student. So ultimately, you have seen the way same volume is displaced, same value of G is there. If I take it 10 overall, but the densities are going to make a difference. When the density will change, what will be the result of that? So the magnitude of buoyant force will depend on the densities. If the density of liquid is changed, student, then the magnitude of buoyant force will also change. And that was the reason what they have used Archimedes principle for designing ship as submarines. You know what are submarines? What are submarines?
Yes, sir.
What are submarines? How they do it? They go deep inside the water, sink, and then they can come up. So they will displace. There is a mechanism by which they can add water and increase their weight, and then they will sink. Then they will decrease their weight. Then they will come up. You have seen submarines. India has got some submarines. They are inside the sea, and they come out of the sea also. You have seen. They are talking of nuclear submarines in Australia and USA deal something. So lactometers are used to determine purity of a sample of milk. How the lactometers will work then? What is the principle? Hydrometers are used for determining densities of the liquid are based on this principle. You have seen the formula of density which I gave it for the same reason. The buoyant force depends on the density, student. If a milk is pure, then we know what is the density of the milk. If the density of the milk will change, what will happen? Then it is not a pure milk. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And then the buoyant force will change. So that they will use in the instruments what they call as lactometers. And hydrometers are used for determining the densities of the liquid. There are instruments which are used for determining density by you applying this principle of Archimedes.